Welcome back to The View, everyone. Today we have two Hollywood legends joining us on the same couch for the first time ever. The incomparable Jane Fonda and the one and only Tom Cruise. Give it up for them. The audience erupts in thunderous applause as Jane, elegant in a white blazer and smiling warmly, waves gracefully while Tom, in his signature black tee and aviators still on indoors, flashes that megawatt grin and gives a quick military-style salute. Whoopi leans forward and says, "Okay, you two, we've all heard the rumors for decades about some tension on the set of that movie you were both attached to back in the 80s. Care to finally clear the air?" Jane chuckles softly and starts, "Well, Whoopi, it was a long time ago. Water under a broken bar." But before she can finish, Tom suddenly rips off his sunglasses, leans across the coffee table, and interrupts loudly, "Water under the bridge? Jane, come on. Let's be honest for once in your life. You tried to get me fired because I wouldn't join your little Hanoi photo op fan club." The audience gasps so hard you can hear it suck the oxygen out of the studio. Joy Behar's jaw literally drops, Sunny Hostin freezes mid-sip of coffee, and Sarah Haynes whispers "Oh my God" into her mug. Jane's smile vanishes instantly, her eyes narrow, and she responds with ice in her voice, "Tom, that was 50 years ago. And I apologized for any misunderstanding about my activism, but you don't get to come on this show and rewrite history just because you jump on couches for a living." Tom laughs mockingly and fires back, "Apologized? You call that press release an apology? Lady, you posed with an anti-aircraft gun while American boys were dying, and then had the nerve to lecture me on patriotism when I showed up to set with an American flag pin." The crowd is now a mixture of boos and shocked cheers. Phones are out. This is already going viral in real time. Whoopi tries to regain control, banging her cards on the table like a gavel. Okay, let's everybody breathe." But Tom is on a roll and completely ignores her, pointing directly at Jane. "You know what your problem is, Jane? You've spent 50 years playing the victim while the rest of us actually served or supported the troops in our own way. I fly real jets. I do my own stunts. I risk my life for entertainment. What do? Yoga DVDs and climate marches." Jane's face turns crimson. She leans forward so aggressively her microphone pops, and she snaps, "You risk your life because you're insured for hundreds of millions. Tom, don't you dare compare your stunt work to the courage of the men and women who protested an immoral war. And for the record, I was in North Vietnam trying to stop the bombing of civilians. Something a draft-dodging Scientologist like you would never understand." The word Scientologist lands like a grenade. Half the audience screams "oh ah ooh ooh," while the other half starts slow clapping for Jane. Security visibly tenses near the side curtains. Alyssa Farah Griffin tries to jump in with "Can we talk about your new projects instead?" But nobody is listening anymore. Tom stands up. Yes, actually stands up on the couch like it's 2005 Oprah all over again, and yells, "Draft dodging? I was 14 when that war ended, and at least my religion doesn't ask me to betray my country." Jane stands up too now, both of them towering over the seated hosts, and she shouts back, "Your religion asks you to betray reality, Tom. Maybe if you spent less time in a volcano with Xenu and more time reading actual history books." A broken bar. The feed briefly cuts to commercial, but the mics are still hot and you can hear Whoopi screaming off camera, "We are not doing this today." They come back from break with both guests now seated as far apart on the couch as humanly possible, an empty cushioned fortress between them like a DMZ. Whoopi, visibly sweating, says, "Welcome back, everybody. Remain calm, we're all friends here." But the tension is thicker than Meghan McCain's final episode. Sunny tries the diplomatic route. "Jane, you've said you regret the way those photos were used. Do you want to expand on that for younger viewers who maybe only know the memes?" Jane takes a deep breath, clearly trying to be the adult, and begins, "Yes, Sunny, I've said many times the optics were terrible and I regret a broken bar." But Tom immediately interrupts again, talking over her like she's a background actor. "She regrets the optics, not the action." Classic Hollywood liberal. "Sorry you got caught, not sorry you did it." Jane whips her head toward him so fast her earrings fly off and yells, "You interrupted me again. Is that what they teach you in Scientology? Never let a woman finish a sentence. The audience loses it. Some start chanting, "Let Jane speak, let Jane speak," while others are screaming, "Go Tom." Joy Behar, loving the chaos, fans the flames by asking Tom point blank, "Do you think Jane Fonda is a traitor?" And without missing a beat, Tom answers, "I think she made the greatest mistake of her life and has spent 50 years doubling down instead of owning it." Yes, the studio erupts into pandemonium, people standing, security now openly on stage forming a human wall between the two stars. Jane, tears of pure rage in her eyes, grabs the microphone from the table and stands again. "You want to talk about owning mistakes, Tom? How about the way you treat women in your church? How many wives have you discarded when they reached level whatever? How many actresses have whispered about NDAs thicker than your script for Mission Impossible 47? Tom's face goes from smug to nuclear. He rips his mic pack off and screams, "You don't get to talk about my family. You marched with the Viet Cong. I'm not taking lessons from you." Whoopi is now literally on her feet trying to hug Jane to get her to sit down while Sarah Haynes is holding Tom's arm like he's a bomb about to detonate. The audience is a war zone of competing chants. "Annoy Jane, Cult Cruise." Phones are live streaming from every angle. Twitter is broken within 30 seconds. The View meltdown trends worldwide before the segment even ends. Producers are waving frantically from the control room. The red light on the camera starts blinking, meaning they're about to cut to a previously recorded cooking segment with Rachel Ray, whether anyone likes it or not. In a last-ditch effort to salvage the show, Whoopi forcibly grabs both their hands like a kindergarten teacher and says through gritted teeth, "We are going to take a deep breath and talk about your new projects, or so help me God we will go straight to commercial and never come back." Jane sits down first, smoothing her blazer, Ice Queen mode reactivated, and says with a tight smile, "My new project is a climate initiative called Fire Drill Fridays. We get arrested for the planet, something Tom might try if he ever leaves his bubble." Tom smirks and fires the final missile, "I'll pass. I'm too busy actually saving the movie industry you and your woke friends keep trying to cancel with your endless remakes of everything." Joy Behar, unable to help herself, cackles and says, "Well, this is the best episode we've had since Megan left." The audience roars with laughter and applause, momentarily breaking the tension, but Jane and Tom refuse to even look at each other now, staring straight ahead like two statues carved from pure contempt. The camera pulls back for a wide shot showing the entire panel in shell shock while the graphic at the bottom reads Tom Cruise Jane Fonda, When Hollywood Legends Collide. Coming up next, why your turkey might explode this Thanksgiving. As the show cuts to the final commercial break, both guests are whisked off stage in opposite directions by separate teams of handlers, Jane clutching a water bottle like she's about to throw it, Tom already on his phone barking orders to someone about lawsuits and image control. Back in the studio, the hosts are shell-shocked. Whoopi just keeps repeating, "I need a drink. I need a drink," while Joy is hysterically laughing and Sunny is googling is it libel if it's live television. Within minutes the clip is everywhere. Late-night hosts are already writing monologues. Meme pages are photoshopping Tom's head on Rambo and Jane's on Captain America, and the internet declares it the greatest 7 minutes in daytime television history. The View's ratings skyrocket, ABC stock jumps 3 points, and somewhere in a private jet over the Pacific, Tom Cruise watches the footage on repeat, muttering "worth it," while Jane Fonda texts her publicist, "Book me on every show that will have me. We're not done yet." And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how a simple reunion segment became the day Hollywood officially broke the internet, again.